and say good morning, beautiful people. Welcome to our January 26th. It is.
Yeah.
Our last hangout of January 2020. Crazy. Doesn't it feel like
January flew by?
This feels like it was January 1st.
Yeah.
So, we don't have any events happening this week that I need to share. We do have the free self-love and squats group starting on Monday, February 3rd. And I do believe that the coaches that are doing the posts are, I keep getting this error report, know that they are already admins in the group and can go ahead and schedule their posts. Looking for 3 posts a day. So one is a self-love post, one is a squat post. I would do the squat post first. So it gives people the whole day to get the workout, like that workout challenge in. So I would do the squat one first thing in the morning, the self-love one in the afternoon, and then a check-in post in the kind of later in the evening. So I tend to do like 6 a.m., 2 p.m., and then 6 p.m. are kind of the time, Pacific Standard Time that I tend to post. So that one starts on February 3rd. Christina has shared in, let me see if my page is up here. She has shared this morning. I'm just going to pull this up in the, oh, the music stopped on its own. In the Coach Hub, she shared some of the February things that everyone can use. So feel free to, in the Coach Hub, Power Squad Coach Hub, feel free to go ahead and grab these. I have a hard time getting the videos. The videos for me, they worked when she posted the Google Drive link, but the videos here don't actually work for me, and I don't know. I'll ask her about that because maybe she has them in a link.
Well, what I found that helps me is I just do that screen recording.
Yeah.
And then I just edit it from there if I can't download it.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know why you can't download the videos. So
yeah.
I know when she puts it into a Google Drive, you can.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's like you're just going to the Google Drive, right?
Yeah.
So feel free to use any of those. Remember, they're there for you. They're yeah, see, look, any idea on how I can save video clips from my phone? It won't let me do it now, how I save the photos. Yeah. So feel free to go ahead and use some of those to start having conversations with people to get them into either the free group or into the challenge group for February 3rd. Hopefully everyone opted into the Success Club trip. You will, depending on where you finish the business in 2019, is when you'll get your invite to next year's, the 2021 in Mexico. So 2020, the Unico Resort is unbelievable. So that's where we're going to stay, we're going to stay at the Unico. Yeah, we were just completely and totally blown away by that. So Margo, you were there with us, right, at Unico? Yeah, it was unreal, right? Yeah. She's nodding like that. It was absolutely unreal. So hopefully everyone has opted in. And if you want, all I did was, I believe I just went to Success Club Trip 2021, right? And it's right here. And then you go down to view agenda, and I think you just have to get an invitation. So you put yourself on the list for the get an invitation. All right, so everyone needs to, you're not putting money in on it at this point. There's nothing there that you have to pay right away. So it's just your way to get your name on the list. And you want to do that now so that you can get that invite, because it's an absolutely amazing trip. So there was that announcement. Trying to think if there's anything else. I don't really have anything else. I have my tracker sheet, and it was not the best week last week, so 78%. So it is what it is. Again, areas for me to work on are healthy meal prep, recognition, invites, recognition. So what I'm going to start doing is I'm actually planning out my weeks now ahead of time so that I know my posts. So I know I shared with some of you about me using that website later. So for example, and please don't feel like you have to go and use later.com. Like it's not something that you need to take on. It's just because my life is so full. Like I teach Zumba all week this week, plus have a work on Friday, plus have a fundraiser on Friday night. So it's going to be a jam-packed week. So I already have, today's post went up, tomorrow's is ready, Tuesday's is ready, Wednesday's is ready, Thursday's is ready, Friday's is ready. I need one for Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and the next Tuesday is already ready. I have them done already because you can batch do them. The other thing you can actually do in it is you can, I haven't figured out where, but you can actually, you can, can you tell I'm not really awake yet? You can actually write your posts ahead of time without, and like just have them in a section that you then pull the post, like it's a saved caption, is what I'm saying. So this is really helping me stay focused and organized. I know this week I'm kind of doing like call to actions between the free group and between the challenge group for February 3rd. So that's what will be in my stories this week. But I'm going to start also planning out like my recognition and what I'm going to do each day in terms of recognition, because that's the one that I just feel like I miss all the time. So yeah. So that's kind of where I'm at. If anyone has anything that they want to go over or share or questions or whatever it may be, please feel free. This is your time.
Is that an app as well, the Later, or is that just a .com site?
It does come with an app version.
Okay.
So it's like my app is on the far left. And what happens is, I have the paid version of it. So I set it up so that it automatically pushes through my post. And I did double check with a whole bunch of coaches on whether or not it was going to interfere with my Instagram engagement, because it's the third party thing and I know Instagram doesn't like it. But because all it's doing is pushing a post through, it's not liking, commenting, following, unfollowing. It's not doing any of that. It's not actually negatively impacting my social media at all. So I got the paid version, but you don't need the paid version. You can use the free version. And then what happens is you get a notification because you set the time. So on the one, so if I was to go here, it pushes it, like all of these are scheduled to automatically go through, right? So this is on our Free to Be Girls Instagram page. And then I literally copy and paste it onto our Free to Be Girls Facebook page, which it automatically posts through. But then this one here is like my personal Instagram page that I also use for my personal Facebook, because I don't post the same on both. Sometimes I do, but I don't always. I have two kind of very different audiences. My Facebook audience loves my kids. They love Clarissa and I to a certain extent, but they really love like family posts. And so I have to like just think about where it's going. So what happens on this one, and this is if you have the free one, you would set it up so that it goes to your regular Instagram. And so at like this morning at 7 a.m., I got a notification on my phone that said your post is ready to publish. And so then what I do is I literally click on it and it copies it to the clipboard. So I don't have to go to any third site to worry about the spacing, right? Because you know how on Instagram it'll like bunch it all together. I don't have to do that. Copies to the clipboard and then I push it through that way, and then I copy it to my Facebook. So it's really helpful that way. So I set it up on my computer and then I get the notification here and that's what the free version would do for the regular Instagram page too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's been very helpful for me. And it's cool because if you look at, if I go to like my preview, I can already see kind of what my page is going to look like, right? Like I'm only here and I've already got those ones ready to go. So I really like it. Yeah, I'm really happy with it so far. There's lots of little mini trainings on like hashtags, and one of the trainings I actually went to by them, and they're super short, talked about how most people are telling you to write super short Instagram captions, and that's not actually what's happening. Instagram wants longer captions. So it wants you to like almost use it as a place to do a mini blog and not just like throw something up real quick with a really short caption. See, I was under the understanding that it actually preferred short, and then one long. Short, and then one long. But it actually prefers longer posts. You're going to get more engagement on longer posts. I was like, oh, really? That seems weird to me because I thought most people just didn't have the attention span for that anymore. But yeah, statistically, so there's lots of little cool trainings in there too. So awesome. I would definitely recommend checking it out. I just wouldn't recommend making the investment piece of it right now for many people.
There's also, Ashley, there's one for your phone and it's called Post Appy by Appy or something.
That's the one Angie uses. APPHI.
Yeah, and then it's just called Post.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that one's for your cell phone.
I did try.
It's pretty good.
Max?
I did try that one because I had read that, but then it got to the point that I had to buy it. Like I got so many posts in, and then it was like you're out of your
free posts.
Your free posts, or it wouldn't push ahead. So I don't know if that's a different. I know it was Appy, but maybe I don't know if it was this Appy post.
Right.
And I got so many in, and then it wouldn't push it. It wouldn't schedule it for me.
Right.
So I don't know.
That's good to know, right? I'm pretty sure later the free version you have a certain amount per month that you're allowed, but I believe it's like 100. Like who's going to use 100 posts in a month? I'm not posting 100 times in a month.
Yeah.
That's just not happening. So so I would definitely recommend checking it out. I quite liked it. Or I quite like it.
So I have a question about Team Cup. What is
Canada?
Just one sec. I think Brittany was talking. Okay. Brittany, I just muted you for a sec so I can answer Jasmine's question. So with Team Cup, and I will stay in the chat that you have going on. So Jasmine has created a group for like, it's Brittany, Laura, Marcy, Ashley, and herself. That's 5 of them. So they have a little Team Cup going. In the past, I have done a group, like a Facebook group, but I didn't feel like it got a lot of engagement. I think having a chat, like just using the chat and checking in daily with, what are your goals for the day? What are you going to focus on for that day? And I know, Ashley, I hope you're okay sharing this, but I had a great call with Ashley last week where we talked about how sometimes the overwhelm of of all the things that we can do, not necessarily that we have to do, because I think we put that burden on ourselves, but all of the potential and the things that we can do based on this list can give us anxiety, right? And I know for many people, this list itself gives them anxiety. And I try to, I'm someone who has struggled with anxiety for a long time. And so I use it as a learning tool to improve myself for the week after, to focus on growing and not so much as a to-do list that I didn't accomplish, right? So, so we talked about how maybe you want to gear one day is for invites and you send like 100 invites one day, and the next day you focus on replying to people. And then the day after that, you send your 100 invites, and then the next day you focus on replying to people. I feel like there is this excitement when conversations are happening, this excitement that you need to be present and reply right away, and that's not the case. You need to have business hours. right? I'm not going to reply to people at 8:00 at night on a Saturday night, because what message am I telling them then? Oh, that's all I do is work, right? Plus, I need my time away from, I will do, like if I'm by myself, I'll work, but I'll do other things. I'll work on photos. I'll work on, the things that aren't going to have me on social media. I'll work on planning my posts. I'll work on the challenge group posts. I'm not saying that I don't ever work on a Saturday night, because sometimes I do and I'm by myself, and I'm totally fine with that. Like, I love it. So it brings me joy. But you have to have those rules and boundaries for your business. And maybe a system like that works really well, where then one day, because you've sent 100 messages, the next day you have the chance to reply. And I love the reply of like, I was getting some new clients set up with their program. I was working with a couple coaches to help them strategize for this upcoming team cup that we have. Like, you guys be creative in your replies. It doesn't have to be the honest reply of what you are actually doing. But it can be something that brings them energy and excitement for the group. I don't reply to people right away, even if they're interested. I know I have like 3 or 4 people on Instagram right now that are probably waiting for a reply, and I'll just thank them for their patience and say life is full, like, so developing those strategies. And I think that's what you need to use the chat for, the Team Cup chat for, is for what's your focus for the day. I think it would be really cool if everyone kind of checked in the morning, and not with a like, I'm the team captain, so I need to make a check-in post. I think it would be cool if everyone just checked in the morning, right? This is my plan for the day. This is what I'm going to focus on. I'm going to do my power hour from this time to this time. You never know, right? If a bunch of people on the team are like able to do a power hour at that time, everyone can hop on together. You just create a Zoom link and you hop on together. There's 3 or 4 people that go through their power hour together, right? So I think having that morning like check-in, and then at the end of the day, how did it go? Just self-assess how your day went. How many conversations or how many invites did you send, or those sorts of things, right? So, okay. But I think it should be really, really driven.
Keep yourself accountable for it.
Okay. Thanks, Margo. You didn't have anything you want me to go over? Can I get a picture of you today? Because I didn't get a picture of you yet last time. Okay. You can smile. There we go. Yeah, have fun. No worries. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, Jasmine. What did you say?
Oh, just keeping ourselves accountable more, and just kind of moving forward as this like mini group to just really see how much more we can build each other's businesses, kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's really good. I think what I'll do is we should put like both of our chats together. Okay, so that all of us, because there's 10 of us in Team Cup, all of us have one place, because it's not like we're not competing against anyone. We're all trying to do this together. So the more we are doing it together, the better.
Yeah, right? I agree.
Yeah. Our name is the Beachbody Cougars, just so you know. Because we're all over 40. So we figured we owned that one. Right? Yeah, that was funny. I was like, Claire, so what should we call ourselves? I don't know. Beachbody Cougars? Okay.
Go for it. That's good.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds really good and keeps it really simple then, the whole Team Cup, and just hopefully we'll motivate everybody to invite a little bit more and follow up a little bit more, and it'll make February just like a good month, a month of growth for all of us.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Exactly. So we, I don't know if any of you guys had a chance to watch Angie's team call from Thursday. Ashley, are you in Team Uproar?
I don't, I've looked at it, but I don't think I'm like in the group.
Yeah. All of you are welcome in. We just don't ever send the link anymore, because we just find, especially for new coaches, I know Max is in the group, but especially for new coaches coming in, like to be offered 4, 5, 6 Facebook groups is so overwhelming. You don't even know where to check in. When we started, I think we were putting like 12 Facebook groups. And I was like, what is this? Like, I don't know which Facebook group to go to. So that's why we just kind of cut it out. But what we try to do is share her team calls. So her team calls are always on Friday or Thursdays usually at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. But for some reason on this past Thursday, she had it at 2 p.m. So Clarissa and I missed it. But I'm part of her group that talked about like, she put us in this group. It's called Treehouse, and it's for all diamond leaders and above. And it's like a place for us to strategize. And the reason I'm sharing is I just wanted to like reaffirm how freaking important personal development is, because she posted in the group something about like what we wanted as leaders. What did we want covered in this team call on Thursday? And there were lots of coaches that went on a rant, right? Like, oh, my coaches don't do this and my team doesn't do this and blah, 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 blah. And then it was so interesting. All I wrote was the more you show up for yourself, the more the business will show up for you. And to use the checklist, like to use the stuff that's actually already there, right? Because I don't need to be a hard ass about it. I need to I believe, like I mentioned in that team chat, have compassion and know that everyone is coming with full plates and, full lives and doing the best that they can. So it was really interesting because Mandy Kai popped in, and most of you would know who Mandy is. And she said, I don't really like this conversation because I think when you're a leader, you need to lead with compassion and with empathy and with knowing and with these tools to step up and be that better coach, be that better person. And I was like, wow, it was really cool to hear that from the number 8 coach in the company, whereas everyone else was going on a rant about their teams and their coaches and stuff. But then now Angie's changed the group too, so she wants more participation. And I noticed this morning, my reaction to it was that I don't bring enough value to that group, right? I don't have enough new ideas and strategies. And I was like, whoa, check yourself, Tamara, check yourself. Just share the stuff that's working for you. Share the things that you're learning because it's going to help another coach in there. And I was like, wow, personal development, right? I just had this big aha moment this morning that I wanted to share. So yeah, and she sent me a Facebook message that I haven't even replied to yet because I was like, why are you Facebook messaging me? And I love her. I absolutely love her. Yeah, so it was really interesting experience for me to kind of experience the emotions of that this morning and be like, oh, that's why we do personal development, right? I also find the more personal development I do, the more inspired I am to write my posts, right? There'll be some sort of little snippet that comes that I'm like, oh, I could talk about that. Oh, I could talk about that. Oh, I could definitely talk about that. So anyway, just some food for thought this morning on my aha moment. So anyone else have anything they want me to go over or chat about?
I was just gonna say I've been listening. Sorry, I don't want my video on my. Anyway,
that's okay.
You can hear me. I just started listening to the 5-second rule, so I don't know if you guys have all listened to it. I know you have, Tamara. It's a great book. It's a really good book at the start of the business because it's that fear of doing things. And anyway, I'm only a couple chapters in. I was listening to it on the way out to UBC to see my daughter yesterday, and it's really good. She's a great. If you haven't listened to Mel Robbins or followed her, she's good. She's very real.
She's very real. I'm actually listening to. I will listen to the 5-second rule probably 3 or 4 times a year because I'll notice myself hitting snooze on my alarm, and I'll notice myself talking myself out of sending messages. And so I usually listen to it 4 times a year. Every year, oh, just 1 second. Oh, weird. Sorry, one of our coaches is trying to get on, but she can't for some reason. Every year, Mel Robbins has done a reset in January. So last year I actually joined hers. It was called Mindset Reset was what it was called last year. And this year it's called The Best Decade Ever. And you don't actually have to join the group, but if you subscribe to her YouTube channel, you'll find all of the videos that she's posting for the best decade ever. And the book I'm listening to right now is called Work It Out by her. And it's like real coaching sessions with people, like busy women that, you know, are going on their phones and not making times for their spouse, but no, and like finding the reason why we're doing those things, right? So finding the reason. So I know the reason why I don't post in Angie's group is because of this disconnect between my feeling like I have the value to add to that group, right? So that's something I need to work on because I know I have the value to add to that group. So I need to talk myself into that. So she has like real, it's called Work It Out. And there's like an actual workbook that comes with it, and they're great coaching sessions. And she's just real, right? She talks and she uses herself as an example. She talks about kind of the science behind why we do what we do and how we really only have that 5-second window to talk ourselves into something, or we'll find a reason not to do it. So I always find out from people when I get them started as a client, I find out from people what their struggle is. Like if there's someone who will have a hard time with showing up for a workout, if there's someone who will talk themselves out of doing a workout, if there's someone who will talk themselves into, you know, not meal prepping, then I send them the 5-second rule. If they're more just need like the rah, like build up some self-esteem, I send them You Are a Badass. So those are my two that I actually send for free. But good morning, Sarah.
Good morning.
We were just talking about the book, The 5-Second Rule by Mel Robbins, and just how awesome it is. It's a very good book. And if you want it, I can send it to you after. Who has anyone on the call? Ashley, have you listened to it?
I haven't yet because I'm still trying to figure out the Audible. I mean, I started reading it. I have the actual like book, but
Okay.
I prefer like listening to it, you know, in like her own voice. So I'm still, you said it's audible.cc or Audible.
In Canada, it's audible.ca. In the US, it's audible.com. And it's usually linked through your Amazon account because that's Audible's part of Amazon. I use it as a business expense, so it's $15 a month. And every month you get 1 credit and so you use that credit towards a book.
Okay, gotcha.
So that's what I do, because I'm like, I can handle $15 a month to listen to a book, and there's no way that I'm finishing reading a book in a month because I will fall asleep, and I just don't find those pockets of time to sit and read. Whereas I can listen when I'm driving, I can listen at the grocery store, I can listen at So I just finished the book. Maxine's the one who actually told me about it, called Why We Get Fat and What to Do About It, which for me was like, and I just had it on Audible. It was a really good learning process because I feel like I've connected with a lot of women that have PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome. And with that, you tend to really struggle with losing weight because of PCOS causes like an increase of testosterone in your body. And estrogen is one of the reasons why women are able to lose weight. And he explains that in the book. Like, so that's why, like, as we age and go through menopause, we tend to put on weight because of a diminished amount of estrogen and blah, blah, blah. So he explains it in the book. So if you, Max brought it to my attention because there's a coach in the network. It's Lauren Fitz, right? I think she's probably.
Yes, yeah, it's Dr. Lauren Fitz.
Dr. Lauren Fitz. And she's under Melissa?
Yes.
McAllister. So
Melissa Maid.
Yeah.
Melissa Maid is her Instagram.
Yeah. So Melissa McAllister, one of the top coaches, she's one of the originals. She believes in intermittent fasting and the like kind of low carb, high fat diet. And so she has her own kind of nutrition plan that she follows. And Lauren Fitz is one of her coaches. And so Max was saying that Lauren makes all of her new clients read the book just because it does teach them a lot about like, you know, why someone may burn food as fuel and why someone may store food as fat, right? Like you don't really know why that is. And so in the book, it's explained a little better. Good morning.
One of the things I think there's sort of 3 ways. You've got your portion fix, you have to be mindset, and then I think this third one is is another option if people are not having success with the other two. You know, obviously it's nice to lead with a Beachbody product, but the Beachbody product don't always work because of what he talks about in the book.
Mm-hmm.
And then this, and even one of my clients who's older, sleep is a big issue for people that are aging. I don't know if you've come across that with any of your clients, Tamara, but sometimes sleep is a big issue. And I was out for a hike with one of mine yesterday, and she started intermittent fasting, and her sleep has gotten so much better for it. So
well, it kind of makes sense, right? Because I read I actually have the book that's called Ayurveda for Dummies, or Intro to Ayurveda, or something like that. And because it talks about so Ayurveda is the nutrition part of yoga, right? So that kind of go hand in hand, and which has nothing to do with coaching. It's just, it was like a book that I was educating myself on. And it talks about how in ancient times, they did only eat for that 8-hour window, because what your body is doing then is when you're not eating for those 16 hours, you finish your digestion process and your body is able to heal itself. So anything, that your body needs to send the energy to that area to heal, to work on that will happen. Right? So it makes sense that you'd be able to sleep better because you're not digesting. If we're eating up until 10 o'clock at night, and then we're going to bed and we're getting up at 6 in the morning and we're eating first thing, and you're constantly in a state of digestion, and your body never has a chance to actually heal, right? Because all of your energy is going to process the food that's in your guts. So I found it really interesting. It fits in really well with what that book was talking about, and then what Max was sharing. So it is something that when I have now I have a lot of women join that are in their 40s, and so things are shifting, right? One of my most recent ladies, she joined 5 years ago and she had great success, and now she's like, okay, I don't know what to do because I'm not seeing the same results. It feels like no matter whatever I try, I'm putting on weight. So we talked about intermittent fasting and how she should probably not focus on making sure she gets all of her containers in, but more focus on the balance of it in that 8-hour window, right? So she said she's already feeling better, so it's an option.
Yeah, my sister has lost 10 pounds since the beginning of the year.
Yay.
Since she started doing the higher fat, lower carb intermittent fasting.
Yeah.
And she's 59.
Yeah. So then by the time when you're 59, chances are most people are like, oh, I know my mom was like, fuck it.
Yeah. I'm
done trying. Right? I've been on a diet my whole life, so I'm not doing it anymore. So yeah, very cool. All right. Anyone else have anything they want to chat about, ask about?
When will we start chatting about Team Cup then? When will we kind of
So I'm going to put all of us into the same group.
Okay.
And then it officially kicks off next Saturday, right? So it's 1st of February. So maybe Friday we can have a little
powwow
check-in. Yeah. Right? So I'll make sure that we're all in the group chat, and we can go from there. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Any other questions or things I can go over this morning? Can I just say the workout yesterday was amazing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And there were other people from Empower Squad on. Christina's coaches, Sarah's coaches. I was like, wow, that's amazing. So yeah, I was really happy yesterday. I was like, oh my gosh, yay, finally. Just takes time, right? People have to register that it's happening at that time every week, and hopefully my son's soccer schedule allows it to continue to happen at that time. Right? Because that's always an interesting thing. We haven't really had soccer since before Christmas, so we'll see.
We have our first game today.
Yeah? Will had his yesterday at 6, so it would have been fine yesterday, but Jamie has a bye this weekend.
We have North Van today at 4.
Yeah, that's far. Anything else this morning, ladies, that I can chat about, go over? No? Everyone's like,
The 2021 trip, Mexico, that's all about your success club points, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And if you help, if you hit Success Club, you'll earn the trip.
Yeah, so it kind of coincides with like us being like on Team Cup at the same time. Like it's yeah, okay, yeah. All right.
For sure.
Awesome.
It's so amazing. It's nothing like, it was funny because the first year, like Clarissa and I went to Summit, and then the following year we went to Punta Cana for the Success Club trip. And I was expecting it to be like Summit in the sense that it would be like go, 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 and there would be a skit, and it was just a vacation where we were spoiled.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a vacation. I mean, there was workouts and there were things that we, at certain times, and photos and welcome parties and farewell parties and things like that, but it wasn't anything like the go, go, go of Summit. So
Right.
that was very cool. Very, very cool.
Yeah, I was telling Matt about that yesterday, and it made him even more excited to like start his like new workout journey, and to like help me get our business going and all this stuff. He's like, I want to go to Mexico on a fun trip, and so he was all for it.
It's pretty amazing. So pretty amazing. I'm excited for Punta Cana. We leave on the 19th of March. So it's just around the corner where I get some vitamin D.
Nice.
Right? So, well, ladies, I don't have anything else this morning. Things kind of, I would say, focus this week on follow-ups, people you've been talking to. Try to get people into the free group for February 3rd. And just know that we're here. One of the things that I did notice is my Wednesday, Thursday, Fridays tend to be insane. So if you're messaging me on those days, please breathe and like let me get back to you, because I don't have, I've just noticed that I can't even schedule follow-ups for those days because I just end up feeling like I'm chasing time all the time. So I'm working on shifting that, but Mondays and Tuesdays I tend to have a lot more time. So, and the weekends, of course. So, all right.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
Oh, thank you. Have an awesome day, all, and we will chat very soon. Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.